Spitballz Nation, welcome back. Episode 3 of the new season. We're coming at you hot today. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, a lot of stuff to cover. Let's dive right into it.
Let's get into it. We're
We
starting with
start with the Pac-12.
the newly formed Pac-12, 12
Pack
divided by
six.
2, the
Well, yeah.
Pac-6. We got, I don't even remember who the new all the new
San
teams.
Diego State.
Got them up right now. Colorado State, Oregon State, Washington State, San Diego State, Fresno State, and Boise State.
It's
Yeah,
all states.
they're all every single school is a state, but only 3 are actually states.
The
The
Pac-12.
Pac
Power
state.
Five is back.
Is
Well,
that it's not going to be a Power Five conference, is it?
with the new playoff, it's like, the top 4 conference winners get a bye, and then a fifth conference winner gets a confirmed spot, but it can
So
be
that's going
anywhere
to be a
from 5 to
Pac-12.
12.
Wait, so the winner of the Pac-12 gets a spot this year?
Uh,
Pac-12 or the Sun Belt.
no. The winner, like the next highest ranked conference winner. So, like, if a MAC team is higher ranked than the Pac-12 champion, like if the team that
Hmm.
wins the MAC is higher ranked than the team that wins Pac-12, they get it.
So is
Yeah.
it? Would you call it the Power Four and then the group of six? No.
I don't think
No.
the Pac-12 even counts as anything right now.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
yeah.
this year they're not in it this year,
It's a
right?
No,
Fugazi
it's just Oregon
conference.
State and Washington State.
So if Oregon State and Washington State win the conference, because they're just going
Well,
to be champions.
technically you need 8 teams to be recognized as a real conference. So like
Okay.
the winner of the Pac-12 this year does not
Does not-
get an automatic bid. They're the 5th highest ranked conference winner. They are playing a game though for the Pac-12 championship.
That's crazy. It's automatic bid to the championship.
It'd be like 2 and
Exciting.
4
Yeah.
playing for the Pac-12 championship.
Do we think they could be a competitive conference next year?
Well, that's what I wanted to talk about, like, because I'm assuming they're going to add more teams because they're not going to just roll with 6. I want to think about like what teams they could possibly add.
They should throw Colorado in there.
I think Colorado should go back.
Colorado State's
They're
going to be
supposed
in
to be
there.
like West Coast teams, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know the likelihood of Colorado actually going back, but I think Colorado should go back, Stanford should go back, Cal should go back,
Where even is Boise State?
Idaho,
Idaho, I think.
Boise, Idaho. You're not
Boise,
familiar?
Idaho.
They the Boise State like social media account posted the blue field at night and the billboard, or not the billboard, the like Jumbotron said Pac-12 after dark on it, and it
Pac-12 after dark.
got me
Is
going.
this the conference for only football or is it all sports?
I think all sports.
Probably all sports.
It's like these are like Mountain West teams from basketball.
Yeah. Which does make a difference in basketball
Yeah.
because
Okay.
conferences mean way more in basketball if we're being realistic than they do in football, which is I had never really thought about that, how it's going to affect college basketball.
When I think of San Diego State, I just think of like I used to watch them at like midnight playing basketball.
Well, I mean, the time's not going to change. They're still,
No, I know, but like I knew they were in the Mountain West.
yeah. Well, now they're in the Pac-12.
Yeah,
They might
so-
be the best Pac-12 basketball team. Probably are the best Pac-12
Yeah.
basketball team.
So weren't they in the championship 2 years back?
Yeah, 2 years
Last
ago
year.
did they
They
lose
lost
the Final
to-
Four or did they lose in the championship? I don't know.
I think they lost in the chip, right?
Yeah, I think UConn beat what was it? UConn beat, was it Miami? Whatever. Okay.
Yeah. No, it was Miami. I remember
Yeah.
betting on that game.
And then FAU beat San Diego State.
Yeah.
That was a crazy tournament. Anyway, what other teams do we think should go back to the Pac-12? If to get to 8 teams, they need 2 more.
Well, no team's gonna go back. It would
Yeah.
be like
Well, I think they're probably going to keep the Mountain West might just become the Pac-12.
They should just merge
Yeah, how many teams are left in the Mountain West now?
the Pac West.
Um,
The West 12.
the Mountain West Conference has, I know Wyoming's in it because that's my dynasty team. College
Who you be
football.
playing?
How do I just see? I want to know what teams are in the Mountain West.
I got it.
Is there a lot of
California,
There's
Colorado.
11 if I'm counting right.
I just say Colorado.
Uh, Colorado State was
There's
in
12 teams in
Oh,
the
yeah,
Mountain
yeah.
West.
Yeah, Washington State, Boise State, Utah State, Wyoming,
Air
Colorado.
Force is in the Mountain West. No,
Yeah.
that's charter members. Okay, never mind. Never mind.
Charter members.
And I guess it's 11.
Oh, they are. Air
No,
Force.
Air Force is a member. New Mexico,
San Jose State's in, is that even
Air Force. That would be kind of cool. I feel like they're pretty good.
And Jose.
I feel like Utah
a
State
Colorado College?
is probably where they. I think Utah State and Nevada, UNLV are probably the ones that are going after.
Yeah. Utah State should join the
They should
Pac-12.
just take the whole time.
Utah State strikes me as like a Power Five team, even though they're not.
Yeah.
What conference is BYU in?
The Big 12.
Yeah. So I guess they wouldn't move.
No, probably not.
Pretty decent football school.
Same with Utah. Utah's in the Pac-12. They're in the Big 12 now. In Colorado, Cal and Stanford are in the ACC, but I think they should go back because the ACC sucks.
Cal's in the Atlantic Coastal Conference.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, which is ridiculous. But
Yeah, Cal, and then we said Colorado, right?
no, Colorado's in the Big 12. Stanford's in
They're
the
not going to move back, you don't think?
doubt it.
They're not gonna move back.
I mean, I wouldn't move from the Big 12 to the Pac-12 either. Um, but yeah, it's exciting stuff. I think the fifth conference winner will most of the time be a Pac-12 team. But they might also change the rules of the playoff again because like they made these rules specifically
They
for
probably will.
four power conferences because they wanted one group of five team in the playoff. But now that there's
Surprised
like
you boys
four
just
power
did this year.
conferences and then half of another one, it's kind of I don't know what they're gonna do.
I saw a clip of the Northern Illinois University coach saying that he like offered help to Notre Dame so they
Yeah.
could not lose again this season. Like, I'll show you like what we scouted in your film and like what we exploited so it doesn't happen again. So then they look better. So then NIU
I
can
think
make
yeah. Notre Dame is always the most disappointing team in college football. Like
Did we just say
consistently.
they'll make
One
the
of the
Well, yeah, the problem is that they
They're not in a
don't
conference.
play anybody unless they want to. So like when you're in a conference like the Big Ten or the SEC, you're in constant competition with like having to
But when
out the other teams in the conference and having to play that. So you're like built to beat those teams. But Notre Dame plays whoever they want, and so they're not
that's
to beat anybody.
that's fine
Whoever
unless
they
you lose to one of those terrible teams that you schedule yourself against. And now you're like screwed because you have no one else to build your
which
resume.
they did.
I mean, if they go 11-1, they're gonna make the playoff.
Yeah, they're gonna make, and it's
Even
not
if they go
bad.
10 and
Yeah,
2.
but should they?
No, I don't think they ever, even if they go 12-0, I don't think they should. They shouldn't be allowed in the playoffs until they're in a conference. It's pathetic that they're not in a conference. They should have been in the Big Ten years ago.
Paul
And they
Feinbaum
have a
actually
great opportunity to join the
playoff.
Big Ten now, like when everyone's moving.
What did
Frank
Paul Feinbaum
Feinbaum.
do?
Like
He
2 years
hates
ago,
Notre Dame. Like he historically hates Notre Dame.
when they got like destroyed by Bama, he was like, "We should ban Notre Dame from the playoff."
No, I think it was Clemson. Or was it
Oh, yeah.
Bama? One
Dirty
year,
as
like
shit.
they lost like huge, and then he went on this whole rant on ESPN about how they should like ban Notre Dame from the playoffs. I
We need
remember
to
that.
get Paul Feinbaum on here, but
Yeah.
I hate that guy.
Frank would have a fantastic conversation with that
yeah.
guy. Like I would actually sit back and relax and enjoy like Frank and Feinbaum talking about
Well,
Yeah.
Feinbaum, if you ever want to get screamed at by a 20-year-old,
Paul
Yeah.
Feinbaum,
give me
come
a-
on the show.
got you.
We'll give you 5%.
I wonder what he thinks about the
football.
Gamecocks.
I
He'd
don't
probably piss you
actually.
off.
I don't give a rat's ass what he thinks about the Gamecocks because we're coming to crack skulls and he can take a seat.
We're coming to crack schools.
We'll offer Paul Feinbaum 5% of Spitballz equity to come on the show.
Yeah. He could be like a recurring member.
A
Be tough.
recurring member.
A weekly guest.
Yeah, we could do that. Let's chill. Let's just. I'll send out a text and we'll figure it out.
You're a sports management major. You got
I
like this
was for 5 minutes.
journalism now, right?
What? Journalism.
Journalism? Yeah,
Because that's what we do. We do outstanding journalism on this show.
that's correct.
All right.
Greg's
Greg's gone. Should we just go around the world of college football for a hot second? Is there anything else you guys want to touch on?
I actually couldn't tell you that much more that's going on.
Penn State's gonna be fine, everybody. Don't worry.
I agree.
We had a rough game against Bowling Green, but honestly, like the defense just looked rusty. I didn't even think it was all that bad. I think they'll be fine. The offense looked pretty good.
Every good team plays a close game against a shitty team. As long as you
And
win it,
I
you're
wouldn't even like put Bowling Green in like the category of like a crappy
no,
team.
they're a MAC school. The
Like
MAC's fine.
they're pretty deep. Like they could put up a good fight. I think it was a
Not
good
like it's an
game.
FCS school. I mean,
Yeah. And
yeah.
then like when they like needed to, they made the plays to win the game. So I think Penn State will be fine. I'm looking forward to seeing them play Ohio State.
When
So
is
that's my
that?
take. It's in like 3 to 4 weeks, I think, pretty soon. So
I need Greg to come back so I can talk about Michigan real quick because I want him to be there for that.
So,
But yeah, they didn't look too hot. I expected. I mean, I know me and Greg bet on Michigan to cover, but I like
Michigan.
that was pretty much what
ruined our
we should
parlay
have
on Saturday.
expected.
Well, actually, our parlay was ruined
Yeah.
early.
I think we
do we
went
now
over
consider
four.
Texas the best team in college football?
Georgia.
I mean, for right
I think
now,
Texas is. I think they have
Yeah,
the best
but
quarterback.
Texas like walked into Michigan's trap and took over their trap.
took over their
I think
draft.
they're yeah. I think they're
100%.
the
They
team to
took
beat
over
now.
their draft.
Yeah,
But
like
I still think, I don't know, Georgia, like Kirby Smart has the championships. He knows what he's doing. Like I trust Georgia over anybody. And also, they haven't even sweat during a game yet. Like they just coming out and dominating. They're probably
They
gonna
probably won't.
stomp Kentucky tomorrow. Like,
Kentucky.
yeah,
They have a light schedule, Georgia, right?
I think so. I don't know. I mean, let's look at Georgia's schedule real quick. Mm,
Do we think Michigan's gonna make the playoff now?
nope. Actually,
They could.
man,
If they beat Ohio State, they will.
I mean, yeah, well, let's look at Michigan. Georgia's schedule is not light. They play Alabama, they play Texas, they play Ole Miss, and they play Tennessee.
Damn.
And they'll
At
probably still go
Bama and
12.
at Texas and at Ole Miss. So
Bro, they got Texas, Florida, Ole Miss, Georgia. That's
yeah,
Florida.
crazy.
in they have a 4 game span of Texas, Florida, Ole Miss, and Tennessee.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I
That's
think
rough. And they'll probably win all those
they
games,
should be
honestly.
favored in all those games. It maybe not the Texas game, but the other 3 they'll be favored in, I think.
Oh,
Nah,
that
they're gonna be
Texas
good.
game is gonna be oh my God.
Yeah, that's gonna be
That's gonna be cinema.
What we live for.
um
That's gonna be cinema.
so but I mean realistically looking at Georgia's schedule, if they lose 2 games, they're still gonna make the playoff 100% without a doubt.
To the 12th.
Texas has a really light schedule.
Um
The
yeah, I mean
only
Texas
only
played
ranked teams they play is Oklahoma and Georgia.
yeah.
So
Michigan
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 plays
needs to beat
USC.
USC or Oregon, and they have to beat Ohio State. I think that's their path to the playoff.
so they
If
have to
they
beat
beat
USC,
USC and
Oregon, all the
Oregon,
ranked teams pretty much.
and what?
They have to beat all the ranked teams that they play.
Yeah, which are from now on just USC, Oregon, and Ohio State for now.
Mhm.
I don't know. Their schedule is pretty light, so I could see it, but also like I just don't think they're that good. Like their defense is not terrible, but I think losing Jesse Minter, the defensive coordinator, hurt way more than most people expected. Now he's with the Chargers, and their defense looks phenomenal. Um,
Throwing more fraud checked.
but yeah, the offense is atrocious. They don't have a quarterback that can throw the football. They don't have wide receivers that can catch the football, and the offensive line and Donovan Edwards can only do so much. So they don't. I'm not confident in
They
Michigan's.
didn't have a quarterback that could throw the football last year.
What? Yes, they did. They did have a quarterback that can throw the football last year. He's pretty damn good at it. I don't want to hear it.
Doesn't want to hear it.
We move on to the NFL.
Yeah, that's fine.
Let's talk about the Jets.
I'm gonna have to circle back to college in a second when we get to the parlay, but
No.
yeah,
Wait, are you taking my pick?
no, I promise I'm not.
What's your pick, so? Just say
We
it.
could just do
My
the
pick.
parlay now if we're doing
Do
college
the parlay now.
into
Oh,
NFL.
wait, you're picking a college pick.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. We can do the parlay now.
Okay.
Frank, you can start it.
You want me to start? All right. We're adding value early then to the parlay because tomorrow at 12 o'clock Eastern, LSU is going to walk into Williams-Brice Stadium and they are going to get pounded by the South Carolina Gamecocks. Gamecocks money line. It's
We're
going to
just
be a
losing
wet
it.
one. It's
What
going to
is
be
it?
one in the trenches, and I trust South Carolina's
So
trenches.
we're losing the parlay.
What?
These are
No,
supposed to be like locks, so we win the parlay.
it's a lock. South Carolina money line.
I actually
What's
trust
that?
it, honestly.
What are the odds?
They're -7 right now, plus
Yeah.
200.
It's value. All right, mine's a -110 pick, but I like it's gonna hit. The Chargers are only -5 against the Panthers, and the Panthers are so bad. They were terrible. Like they're by far the worst team in the league. And I think the Chargers actually look really good. Running the ball, playing
They do.
defense. Like they looked like Michigan last year. I
I
think
I
Jim
tried to tell
Harbaugh,
you 2 weeks ago,
Jim
and
Harbaugh is a great coach, and I think
he doesn't.
-5, they're gonna win by at least a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean they might get the
Wait, did you
Panthers
say
might
the
get shut
Chargers
out.
-5? Because I'm seeing that now. That's definitely a lock.
Yeah.
The Panthers might get shut
I,
out.
I was like scrolling, just looking for
That's
a
kind
pick,
of
and it
crazy.
just stood out to me that it was only
Maybe
-5.
it's a trap.
That's what yeah. I mean, Harbaugh does not like to win by a lot. Once he's won, it's over. He just ends the game.
But the Panthers look so bad.
They did look really bad.
Yeah.
Like they're
They
not going
are
to
the
stop
worst
the
team in the
run.
NFL.
They didn't look like an
100%.
NFL team.
And Joe Alt looked amazing.
Not
Did you
like
see how he
not like the
blocked
Panthers have anyone
Max
that can rush the
Crosby?
passer.
Yeah, but what? Tess?
Did you see how Joe Alt handled himself against Max Crosby
You didn't
last
allow a
week?
single pressure.
He didn't allow a single pressure. It
It's
was
so
absolutely insane. And I saw a clip like the leverage he gets. He's the tallest guy in the line, and he's also the lowest. So he's going to be an absolute dog.
he's going to be
Like
good.
they're going to be able to run the ball so much. It's yeah.
The Chargers are one
So
of
I
the
like your
teams
picks.
that like they go into the game knowing exactly what they're going to do. The other team knows exactly
It
what they're
was
going to do.
very apparent what the Chargers' identity is going to be.
I think they're going to be a good team.
They're
I
going to
think
play
they're
good
gonna be
defense. They're going to score enough points. I think
They're going to beat the Panthers by at least 5 points.
I think they're a pretty damn good team. I like that pick.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna go. We got a game, Florida State, Memphis at Florida State. I think Florida State is a terrible team, and we're gonna go Memphis plus 6.5.
Memphis plus 6.5. I don't know.
Where
You
is
don't
the
think
game?
Florida State's got to get one, right?
Where is the game?
I don't know, bro.
Is it
At
in
Florida State.
Yeah, I think it's at Florida State.
I mean, if DJ is really as bad as people think he is,
Oh, the first 2 weeks, I think he
He was
really.
like missing passes that I feel
no,
like
I
I
know
could
he looked
get closer.
bad. I don't understand what happened. Coming out of high school, this kid was like,
Mental. It's all mental.
it was
He was in like the
Bryce Young, it
Stroud
was
and
CJ
Bryce Young
Stroud, and it was
ranking.
DJ Uiagalelei.
And after Clemson, he didn't do that bad at Oregon State,
Man,
and then he
I don't
just.
know.
All right,
Alabama's so happy they didn't hire Mike Norvell.
The
Okay.
downfall of the
All right,
pros.
so we got Cox money line. We got Chargers -5. We got Memphis plus 6.5. Toad.
And
I'm gonna go with the Steelers at -2.5 for Sunday. They're playing Denver. I don't think Denver's a good team. Bo Nix looked very good in his debut. I think the Steelers will take that.
Mike
all
Tomlin is 24-6 against rookie quarterbacks all time.
I think they'll take that all day.
I actually yesterday I had some time on my hands, so I went through ESPN and I just wrote down all the lines that I liked, and I got Steelers -2.5 on here.
I think they'll get that for sure.
What you got for Giants commies?
I'm not betting on that game. I would never.
Honestly, though, I was thinking
Commanders.
Giants,
Favorite.
Giants plus 100. They could beat the Commanders.
All right, if we're done with the parlay, we might as well just go right into Giants Commanders.
I want to before the game. This is my thought on the game. I'm rooting for the Giants to win this game, 100%. But the outcome of this game will determine how I root for the rest of the season. If we lose, I'm rooting for us to lose every single game the rest of the season.
I agree. If the Commanders lose to the Giants, it's Travis Hunter season, 100%.
If we lose to the Commanders,
What's Travis Hunter?
quarterback. I'm sick of the Giants being bad, but not the worst team in the league. And then they don't get the top quarterback, and then it just repeats the cycle. If we lose to the Commanders, we just have to. It needs to be a top two.
Need to be the worst team in the league.
It has to be top two, top three pick. It has to be.
Greg, I watched the Commanders secondary get pieced up by Baker Mayfield on Sunday.
But bro,
It's it's
you're gonna use a top five pick on a corner?
it's got to be either Travis Hunter or Will Johnson. I think we could trade down probably if we're gonna be like a top five pick. We could probably trade down to like 8 or 9 and get one of those two.
Yeah.
Remember Jeff Okuda?
Was he the
Everybody thought
second
he
overall
was going to
pick?
be the next lockdown.
Where did he even
And
go?
I don't
Uh,
even know where he's at now.
he got drafted by the Lions, right? And
Yeah, and
then
then he's like, I think he might be on the Texans. I don't know.
He's on
But
the
yeah,
that
drafting
actually
corners
sounds.
risky, unless they're Sauce Gardner. That's always good when they
Yeah.
work out.
It's always good when the corners work out. Okay, where'd Sal go?
Can
We're
I
literally
talk
talking
about
about the
can I talk
Commanders.
about Daniel Jones? I just wanted to say I think like the I really do feel bad for like his situation right now. Like obviously he got his bag, but he's been playing terrible football recently. And I saw the video of like the Giants fans waiting outside to boo him on his way out. Like that's also like a part of the problem is when your own fan base like doesn't have your back and the whole media just roots against you and honestly like loves to make a story of it when you fail. I feel like he's never gonna succeed if that's the case.
He
I think it's
might.
just a toxic situation at this point, and it's just sad to see like he has no confidence at all anymore.
He's walking to the bus after the game and he's getting chirped as he's
Yeah, I
leaving.
mean, come on. Like I understand like it's New York sports,
Yeah.
it happens, but like give the guy a
He
chance.
did
Like
play absolutely
he
atrocious.
played terrible. No, he did, but it's not gonna get any better if that's what we're doing. You know what I mean? Like
He might be
I
hooking
just
into
feel
Kay
bad for the guy.
Adams
I just
though.
want to throw that out there. I feel like he's so hated. Like and he's like, you know,
Who we're talking about?
Maybe it's his
Daniel
villain
Jones.
story.
Daniel.
Daniel
No, he's
Jones.
he's lost it.
I don't think he ever had it. I don't know
No,
what
he did
happened in
have it.
2021, but
2022, he looked like
2022.
a top half quarterback of the league that can win you a playoff. I mean, he did win a playoff game. The Giants roster was not great.
You guys were glazing him like, oh, Danny
Like,
Dimes.
Who's you guys? Slow down.
Oh,
I
I'm talking
I
about
don't know what
Giants fan.
happened is the
Okay.
thing.
Talking
He
about
looks
Giants.
so good, and he's played 3 like full games healthy since then, and he's looked terrible in all of them. Like, I think at this point he's just lost all confidence in himself that
There's
he can
no,
be.
yeah.
Like he doesn't even believe that he's a good
Yeah,
quarterback.
and he's had success under Dayball. So I don't understand.
The
After
thing
he
is, like,
gets
I
I
do
just think
think
I just think he's so burnt. I don't think he has any confidence in his ability to play quarterback
that's
anymore.
exactly what
I
it
think
is.
a
I
lot of
think
it also was he was probably very limited in the like preseason and training camp and stuff. It was very obvious that he and his receivers were not on the same
Yeah.
page at all.
I mean, this game, the game against the Vikings, I think Neighbors looked all right. They didn't throw the ball at all. They didn't let him throw the ball, and that's what worries me. Like it's not like they were airing it out and he was missing throws all over the field. It's they barely let him throw, and the times he threw, he was still missing. Like open guy.
Pick six on a screen.
All right, that like I don't know what you want him to do on that
Yeah,
one.
it's a brutal low light, but like it's not
Like
like it's just
the play call was a
pretty
screen, and the guy
that's
just
pretty
jumped.
random. Yeah.
Bro, like you have to know if there's a guy there.
How are you going to know that?
You can't just blindly throw the ball. Like
Not his greatest moment. He's had worse though. He's
But
definitely
it looked like the Giants don't trust him to throw the ball.
he should
and
take his
I also you guys keep going.
he should
I'm
take
gonna
his
name
160 mil and just retire,
I'm
bro.
pretty sure after this year we don't owe him. Like it wouldn't hurt the cap to cut him.
well, I think that's because I went back and I watched the entirety of the Giants offseason Hard Knocks.
I
And
love everything they said in that.
now that we're in the season though, they were talking about in the Hard Knocks, they were like they weren't sure if they wanted to have Jones start or if they wanted to go in a quarterback direction. I feel like they had to have been more decisive than that because
Well, no, it was they weren't going to like look for another quarterback. It was if Jaden Daniels dropped to them, they were going to draft Jaden Daniels. Or if they could trade up for Jaden Daniels, they were going to trade up for Jaden Daniels.
well, now they get the opportunity to play Jaden Daniels in week 2. And I think the Commanders have to win this game. I think they will win this game. I'm going
If it's at,
20,
I was
I'm
so
gonna go
discouraged just watching the Giants play calling this. Like it was so bad. It's just
I'm
like
gonna
we
go
weren't trying to win.
24-20 Commanders win.
You think we scored 20 points?
I mean, did you
Yeah, the
watch
Commanders'
defense
defense
for
too.
a second? Like,
Well, I actually think our defense looked pretty good. I don't think Brian Burns and Thibodeau played as well as they could have, but Dexter Lawrence played great. Our corners and our secondary played all right. Sam Darnold was literally dotting them up.
yeah,
He looked so good.
that's how I feel
Did you see
about
the
Baker
Justin
Mayfield.
Jefferson?
That's
What happens when you leave the Jets?
Did you see the Justin Jefferson touchdown on that slant?
yeah.
That was Deontay Banks played perfect coverage. I don't know how. Sam Darnold fit in a perfect pocket, and Justin Jefferson like pinned it with one hand against his chest. Like that
I've
was
always said, dude, he's had ridiculous arm talent his whole career.
was
Not even kidding. Not even kidding. He could throw the
he
ball
looked
really
so
well.
good.
He always like he makes really poor decisions sometimes. So I think they're trying to
I
cut that out
think
of his game.
it didn't look like he
I
was
always
making
like
bad
Sam Darnold.
decisions.
I really
Yeah, his
did.
talent looked so good.
I think he's a talented quarterback for sure.
Under pressure too. Like he was had
Yeah.
guys in his face and he was still making throws.
He's also 27 and he's played what, six,
Yeah,
seven
I'm
NFL
actually like
seasons.
interested to see him play this year with Justin Jefferson, a good
Yeah.
coach, good system.
I mean, he had maybe the worst offensive scheme of all time in his rookie
Oh,
first
he
two
did.
years. It
He was with
was,
Adam Gase, right?
Yeah,
yeah, he was with Adam
Yeah, like
Gase.
that's
that was
so
a
unfair.
brutal time to be a Jet.
Yeah.
And he
And
also
then the
just
Jets
went,
dumped him.
Fire
The
Gates.
Jets dumped him for Zach Wilson.
yeah.
And then that
His
turned out
talent was never
terrible.
the issue. It was all like his seeing
Fire
ghosts.
Those were
Gates.
those were the worst Jets teams, like arguably in history, other than the team that went 1-15 in like 96, I think it
I
was,
also think an underrated
or
thing is he just
99.
went backed up for the Niners, made the Super Bowl. Like he probably learned a
Yeah,
lot about football and how to play quarterback.
yeah. No, I'm telling you, if you draft a quarterback in the first round, like they should sit. Like they should not play
No, they should play.
unless
I do,
unless
I
you
think
unless you don't have a veteran option at like in the backup or whatever. I think you 100% sit the quarterback you draft. They
I
are
think it's
so
on a
it's
case by
proven
case
time and time again.
basis.
I think
It's
it
like
depends.
Case by
Stroud
case
came in and he
basis.
lit up the like it
Sometimes
depends.
it's also like I think we just have to lower our expectations for quarterbacks in their first year or two.
But you
Like
got
they're
to
not,
know as a coaching staff, like this guy's ready or this guy's not ready, or we're
if they're
drafting
not
him to
ready,
play now, or we're
yeah.
not drafting him to play now. Like,
But if they're not ready, you can play them. Just don't expect to make the playoffs. Expect them to. It's like a learning experience.
yeah,
Like right now, I think Bo Nix should be sitting because he's gonna go in there and he's gonna fail, and then they're gonna turn on him very quickly, and
But who do you
TJ
think?
it's
Watt's
gonna be
gonna
hard to get his confidence back
you should
up.
TJ
sit
Watt's
behind
gonna
Zach Wilson.
Right. That's what I'm saying. They don't have a good backup option to start. So I
Or
mean,
who isn't there a
they
third
should have
quarterback on their
got.
roster?
They have
sit him.
Jared Stidham and
So
Zach
Stidham.
Wilson.
what I'm hearing is Michael Penix is going to be the best quarterback out of this draft.
I
Michael
think he could be
Penix is
really
gonna
good.
have a 401k by the time he retires or starts. It's gonna be like 30.
I think I think Taz is probably right. I think there's two quarterbacks that should be starting right now from the rookie class.
Caleb didn't look too good either.
No, Caleb
No,
didn't. But there's
Drake
no
May.
way you draft Caleb Williams and don't start him.
I know, but
Yeah.
Drake May should
Who's
be
gonna
starting.
play over Caleb?
Drake May should not be playing. Bo Nix should not be playing. The Redskins don't really have a choice. He
I
has to.
really want Jaden Daniels is going to be so.
And he looked pretty damn good.
I'm so mad that we didn't get him.
While the Redskins looked pretty terrible on both sides for the most part.
This is what happens when you're like a mediocre franchise and not a terrible franchise.
Yeah, we were terrible last year.
You just
We're getting
you miss out on the generational talents. And
All right.
so
Sal, what's your Giants commies prediction?
prediction. I don't know. I got
24-20.
all right. I'll say just because it's Giants commies, like the Giants are probably gonna win. And not that I want them to win, but they're probably gonna win. But I'm gonna say like 13-10. It's gonna be ugly.
I can see it.
I think the commies are gonna blow him out, honestly.
I almost hope.
But I'd love that. A stress-free Sunday would be awesome. I haven't
Wait,
had
Frank,
one
what
in
did you say?
5 years.
24-20.
That's what I said, yeah.
I got the Giants. I think Danny's gonna play good. He always plays good against
What are your scores?
the Commanders.
I guess we don't need to post this one.
No, we don't.
Commanders 24-10.
Yeah, I mean, if Daniel Jones ever like he got gifted a get right game right in front of him. He
Wait,
always
did the Giants score a touchdown last week?
No.
My only
Or
two hopes for the season are
I
Malik
think they had
Neighbors
6
developed
points.
into a top wide receiver, which I think he will. Like they really didn't throw him the ball, but the times they threw him the ball, he was catching it, he was getting open. Thought he looked fine. And I hope our defense develops a little bit. Our
Oh, I
offense,
wanted to say earlier,
nothing's going to be good on offense till we get into it.
I think Kayvon Thibodeau is going to be the next Jamal Adams of New York sports.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. I think over the course of this season, the Giants are going to lose, and he's going to be terrible with the media, and then he's going to want out after this season. I see it happening already. You saw it after the game in week 1.
Well, I mean, he's been
How
a
he
brat since
dealt
he
with the
got
media.
drafted, and he hasn't done anything.
They haven't won anything since he's been drafted. He's been in the league, what, 3 years now?
This is his third year, right?
I could see it. I could see him wanting out if the Giants have a terrible year.
Oh, another thing about the Giants, their offensive line actually looked like it improved this offseason.
Actually, so did ours.
Yeah,
For the
which is
most
surprising for both of these teams.
There was
Is
some
Evan
rough
Neal a
parts.
starter right now?
Yeah, he's a backup.
I think Shane should be fired for taking Evan Neal.
That's
That
crazy.
was so bad.
You really wasted a pick there.
But we did have two
Should
top
be
10
fired
picks
for that one pick.
They
He did
can't
have
even
two
move him
top
to
10
guard.
picks that year.
He's that bad. They can't even move him to guard.
Yeah, he's so bad.
How? How is
But
what
then
happened?
he did go this offseason, signed 2 starting offensive linemen. Andrew Thomas is amazing. Andrew Thomas that was a great pick. You guys
That was a pick
When-
by
Yeah,
who
we
was the
kinda
last
clowns
guy?
off of that
yeah,
one.
but when we picked Andrew Thomas, I was getting so much hate for the Giants.
It was better than Mekhi Becton. I thought Mekhi Becton was going to be really good.
I mean, Wirfs was still probably the right pick. I don't know. Andrew Thomas is pretty good. Wirfs is pretty good. They're both pretty damn good.
Yeah.
It was. I thought it was Jedrick Wills.
During that draft, I was saying like there's 4 tackles.
Jedrick.
They're all like nobody really knows how good any of them are going to be. They all could be good. They all could be bad. Just pick one.
And then, of course, the Jets got the worst one.
All right. So big football game last night. Bills Dolphins, not Jets. Tua might be done.
Should be done.
He definitely should.
Yeah,
be
he
done.
probably should.
Absolutely should be done.
I think he should be, but I don't think he will. I think it's more likely to play.
He's got. I mean, he should have been already. But if he's going to keep playing, he's got to wear that guardian cap.
Did he
He has to.
Did he get his first contract yet? Like, did he
I
make
think
it?
he did. I think he got
I
paid.
think so.
I think he did.
Yeah, he should take that money, run back to Hawaii, and never come back. Never come back.
Enjoy his simple life.
Enjoy his simple life while his brain still works.
Wow.
It still works.
You know, I thought he would learn by now how to slide.
Yeah, like that's the
If you
part-
watch the clip, he was past the first down marker by like
Yeah.
2 yards, and he
Dove.
dove
he dove head first.
into
and,
DeMar
like,
Hamlin.
DeMar
He did it
Hamlin
to
was the one who
himself.
hurt him.
Yeah, it was DeMar. You didn't know that?
There's so many jokes.
Oh,
It was like Tua just put his head down in his chest and it was like, well, one of us is gonna get hurt.
No, but also
It's
the
like
most fragile object in
concussions
the
are
NFL. To his head and DeMar Hamlin's chest.
yeah.
I agree. He should wear the thing.
I think
Concussions are common in the NFL, but every time Tua gets a concussion, it looks so
His hands
bad.
are,
it
like-
It looks
so-
like he's like his brain is like.
well,
I think
because
he,
each one gets worse.
he
I-
loses connection with his brain.
I know. I've never seen it look that gruesome. Like
Yeah.
when a player gets a concussion, other than like Tua, never like they're on the field for a few minutes, but it's like they don't lose control of their limbs.
Well, I mean, last time he got carted off. This time he walked off on his own power, but he was walking drunk. Like
The other ones were like he got sacked and he like snapped his head back.
yeah,
And like this one was so preventable. Like
this one was so preventable. And
He always like slides in the open field too. Like I don't know why he just
saw
Just-
DeMar Hamlin.
I think
he
it's
was
too
close.
late.
I
for
think
him.
he wanted to make
I
a
think
play.
he's got to give it up.
He was close to the
He
end
already
zone.
made the play.
I know he made, but I think he saw the end zone, and you're down 21.
But he wanted to truck him with his head.
I don't know. I don't know what was going through his head. It was a bad decision, though. It was an awful decision.
I think it was like a dive slide. I think he was trying to slide, but he
It
just
did look a
dove.
little awkward.
he didn't like do the normal slide.
Yeah, I think it's
And
a
I think
good
he's got to give
idea
it up.
for
I think that's it for him.
if they can
I think
make
he
those
should.
guardian
I really
caps
don't think he will.
look
I
not
mean,
goofy,
what?
then those guardian caps, they can make them look not goofy. Everybody
They
should
don't
wear.
look too bad. Have you
No,
seen?
I couldn't even. Jabril Peppers was wearing one
Yeah,
on Sunday. I
yeah.
couldn't even notice it until
Because
like
they have like the
zoomed in.
logo on it, and it's like kind of thin.
Yeah, they look way the ones that they were wearing in practice and
Yeah,
training camp like
they're
last year
different.
look way different than they do now. They look fine.
My personal experience, I don't think the Guardian caps really do anything. But
Yeah, me and Greg wore him
Do
in
you think it like
practice.
affects your play? Like it's harder to play in wearing one of those.
no.
No,
There's no difference in like playing, but like
you get hit in the head. You still get hit in the head. It's like it's not
yeah,
really.
you're still getting cracked going like full
Yeah,
speed. Like
and
They
into his
gotta do
case,
something.
when he gets sacked and his head hits the ground, like the guardian cap isn't going to do anything to stop
yeah.
that.
Or we could just fix the damn helmets.
Yeah,
Like,
No, it's a violent game.
I understand it's a violent game, but
violent game, but
the
you
more
shouldn't
that they
have four
try to protect
concussions.
people, I feel like the more people are getting hurt. Rugby's a violent game. They don't have any rules. They don't wear any pads, and nobody gets hurt.
Well, it's because they don't wear pads. In the NFL, you think you're safe. You have
Yeah.
pads. And just
Yeah, in rugby, you're not head first going into someone.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, also though,
Maybe
I
we
don't
should
think
just play football.
the NFL. I don't think the NFL should put any like sanctions on Tua and like make him retire.
No, they
I
can't do
think
that.
it is like his choice. And I don't honestly, Sal. I agree with Sal. I don't think he'll do it. You
Just
know,
the
it's
amount of
hard to
work
look.
is.
It's hard to look like far in the future at things. Because right now he's making millions and he's like, I
It's
guess
hard
a
to
star
it's hard
quarterback.
to walk away from something that you worked at your
Yeah.
whole life. You worked all off season. He's pretty good at it. Like he's not a bad quarterback.
Definitely.
At some
He's on a
point, his
good
game's
team
going to
too.
start getting affected by all these head injuries.
Like,
Surprised it hasn't
it's just
already.
Although,
Is that his third?
fourth.
like, do we think he has the same? Because Andrew Luck did it, and Calvin Johnson did it because they got hurt too much. Like, I guess this isn't that uncommon.
No, people. The average span of an NFL career is like 3 years.
No, but not like a good player, like a starter.
I I I know that he
Speaking up and
probably
sticking it
doesn't
out.
want to retire, but he's gonna kill himself. Like
Can
he's gonna
you
be
die
eating
from
cracker of the
concussion?
day in 2 years if he doesn't stop. Like he's gotta stop.
He's gonna turn an AB.
Cracker of the day in 2 years.
And
Anyway,
also, last thing, he's a quarterback. Like quarterbacks, like
They're supposed to last.
Yeah.
they probably get the best of it, like in terms of blows to the head. Like
Yeah.
it's so I don't
All
understand.
the rules are to protect the quarterback, and he just puts
Yeah.
himself in harm's way.
Yeah,
I don't really
but
like that.
it's too late to like teach it out of him. I think he, you know,
now that he can't learn anything either, like it's gonna be tough to teach it out of him.
mhm.
Anyway, the Bills looked really good. Josh Allen
All right, Josh Allen did
wants
terrible
to
in
be the
fantasy.
MVP so
He had
bad.
9 fantasy points because the Dolphins just sucked so bad. He didn't really have to do anything.
He just gave the ball to James Cook, and James
Yeah,
Cook cooked.
yeah,
But
those are gonna be good. I
the
mean, we
Bills,
knew that.
their defense looks incredible. Even though they lost all those pieces, everybody's like, look how many people they wanted to lose all those people. They didn't want those people anymore. They were paying them too much money to be average at their jobs. Now they're paying people nothing to be good at their jobs. The Bills are gonna be good this year.
We knew this.
Frank's always on the Bills.
I
Did you
Why would I
watch?
not be? They've been good for the last 5 years. Like I trust the Bills. I trust the
I
Bills more
mean,
than I trust the Jets. Like,
Bills are D's.
let's talk about the Jets.
okay.
Let's let Tess
Yeah.
speak his mind.
Well, I mean, like I said, like if we were talking about this on Tuesday, I would have had a lot more to like really get off my mind. Um, they look bad. The defense looked really bad. I don't think we got a single stop. I think it was 8 straight drives that they scored.
Mhm.
Um,
I,
secondary looked terrible. Supposed
did
to
you
be a
see
strength of the
Salah
team.
after the game? He was like, "If the defense is the issue, it's not a problem. Like I'll fix that. I know what to do."
Yeah, listen. All
I
right.
don't think the defense
I
was bad.
have Robert Saleh. He really has some nerve sometimes. Like
Yeah,
he has some nerve. And I look at this and his job and Joe Douglas is the GM. Their jobs are on the line this year. If the Jets don't win this year, they're both gone. And I think, you know, at this point, they need to do whatever they can to win. And we can't have games like, where the defense is terrible. We got to make an adjustment and fix it. I think they have to play up to their standards every single week.
I don't like
And
Salah at all, but I'm going to defend him in this one instance. It was the Niners, great offense, and Kyle Shanahan, great offensive mind, who practiced against Salah's defense for years. He knew everything. I mean, Salah's got to come into the game knowing that
I know they need to be better prepared for sure.
But it is hard to play against someone who has practiced against you for years.
It was a tough game for sure. They had a tough game.
Very interesting.
They were in San Fran. But
none of us even expected them to win. So
yeah.
They may be tested.
But they didn't even.
It was, the score was 32-19, but it was really like 32-10. They really did not play a good game.
What do you think about Aaron Rodgers' performance?
I thought A-Rod looked pretty good. I think he threw the ball really well. He could still sling it. The interception, really, I don't think it was his fault. The corner made a really good play, and then it was tipped. Him and Garrett Wilson connection looked pretty good. I think they just never got the ball. They couldn't get into a rhythm because they never got the ball because the defense couldn't get off the field, and the drives were like 10 minutes long. So I think if the Jets could get the ball more, if the defense could get stops, I think the offense will look good. Alan Lazard looked better. But they gotta stop the turnovers, man. Like Breece Hall fumbling on the fourth play. The drops too.
Get Braylon Allen in there.
Bad. Braylon Allen needs to get in there more.
Are you
third and one? I want to see Braylon Allen get the ball. But all in all, I think the offense is pretty good. I think A-Rod will be fine. People were freaking out over his game. I think really he had it for the first game back in a year with a whole new team. I think he played fine.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers is not going to be the problem.
Yeah.
Would you call next week a must-win game for the Jets?
This week?
I think this Sunday is a must-win game. I think they have to go into Tennessee and beat the Titans. And the defense has to.
They can't do that.
Too early.
If the defense doesn't look better, which really it would be very hard for them to not do any better than they did last week, then there's going to be some issues. So, I think I'm usually the type of guy that freaks out over the Jets. Like if they lose, I'm like, this season's over. But I think they'll be fine. I think it was just a tough game. I don't know why the defense played so bad, but
maybe the 49ers are just really good again.
Right. I mean, that was arguably the hardest game you could have in week one.
All eyes.
But also, they need to re-sign Hassan Reddick. They got to just pay him what he wants. Like if you're Joe Douglas, your job is on the line. Get the player.
And you traded for a player knowing that he wants to be
You
paid.
have to re-sign him.
You got to pay him.
The defense looked worse without him. It was bad. They had no edge pressure.
Yeah, how do you
really in general? They had no QB pressure.
Knowing they're gonna ask for a contract extension and then refuse the contract extension.
I don't understand. But they need to your job is on the line. We need to win now. You need to get Hassan Reddick on the field.
And Greg, to your point, there is such a thing as a week 2 must-win game. The Giants and Commanders both have one this week.
But it's not like a must-win. It's a must-win if you want to be competitive this year.
If you want to be good, you got to win this one.
But I don't think either team really. That's not the worst thing for us to not be competitive this year.
The Bengals have started 0-2 5 of the last 6 seasons, and they've made like
but the Bengals have a quarterback and a coach. We don't have that.
Do they really have a quarterback?
Do they really have a coach?
All right, maybe not. They have
questions we should be asking.
Yeah. Are we really sure about Zach Taylor? Are we really sure about Joe Burrow?
I'm really sure about
Joe as hell I'm not.
I'm not.
He's so fragile. I feel like
he's still playing with like an injury.
It's so like he's never 100%.
But I know when he's healthy, he's a top 4 quarterback in the league for sure.
All right.
And then they also fumbled like an easy touchdown, which basically just flipped the whole momentum of the game. But
I think the Bengals are going to be fine.
Yeah. But yeah, just going back to the Jets, they have to beat the Titans. They have to play well. Salah's job is on the line. Joe Douglas's job is on the line. Do whatever you can to win. That's all I have to say, really. So after this weekend, next spitball episode, hopefully I'll be, Super Bowl prediction. But we'll see. It was just brutal Monday night game, I would say. Brutal opener. But
Rough
starting
one.
1-0 really doesn't mean anything. Really. It doesn't.
Yeah. It was a
Especially
hard
when you're
game.
the Jets.
No one expected them to win. It was just the way they lost was a little discouraging.
Yeah. And they did move the football. They did move the football. So they just didn't get the ball at all. So that was my take of the game.
Should we get into the primetime games for this weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, starting it off Sunday night, we got Bears at Texans. Two 1-0 teams, two young quarterbacks, one team that's much better than the other one.
The Texans look like amazing.
They did or didn't?
Didn't.
Did. I like the Colts too. I think the Colts might be solid. Anthony Richardson looked pretty good, but
The Bears keep it close, but they lose.
Anthony Richardson looked amazing.
the Bears defense, granted it was the Titans, but the Bears defense looked solid.
Good.
I know it was his first start. I'm sure he'll be fine. Caleb Williams is probably gonna be a good quarterback, but like if they want to be competitive this year, which I think they do, they just put all that, they invested so much in their offense. I think they do want to be good this year. He's gonna have to do better than 90 yards.
I mean, yeah, but it's his first game. Like, give him a break. I feel
I
like
know, I agree, but like he has to
I,
play.
he has to play better, but I wouldn't say like that causes like panic. Where I feel like
I'm not
he'll
panicked
still be
for
fine.
Caleb. I don't like Caleb Williams, but like I'm sure he's gonna be fine. But I think the
Yeah. I
Texans,
think
like, it's his second start ever. Texans, I think, are probably a pretty good team. They looked like a pretty good team. They didn't look amazing, but they looked like a pretty solid team. Um, in Houston, I got the Texans. I'm gonna
Feel like
go.
what?
I'm gonna go 31 to 21 Texans.
Go Texans 26-20.
I'm gonna go 24 to 14. Texans.
Texans 31-17.
No faith in the Bears.
Bears.
Caleb did win his first game. I don't know if he did two in a row.
It's true. All right.
I think this will be a better game.
Monday night, Falcons at Eagles.
I know.
Falcons looked pretty bad, bro.
Falcons look pretty bad.
Kirk Cousins looked really bad.
I'm still gonna go Kirk.
Jalen Hurts is a bottom 6 QB.
I'm gonna say 27-24.
He's actually number
the
33.
Spitballz the Eagles hate is very unwarranted. I feel like
he didn't look great.
the Eagles
he
are
looked
pretty
right.
good. I mean, come on. He looked a
No
little
one's
rusty going
debating the
in.
talent on their
He looked
roster.
a little rusty going into the game.
I
but
just
I don't think they're bad at football, or I don't think
they're
they're
like
bad football players. I think they're a bad
if you
team.
have a tie game in the third quarter, like odds are the Eagles are going to come out with it. I feel like I just think they're a pretty good
Okay,
team.
I actually think both of these teams have a lot of talent on their rosters. It's whoever can figure out how to play together and like win a football game.
Yeah, I don't know.
Nick Sirianni.
And Kirk will be fine. I don't think Kirk is.
Yeah, the thing with Kirk is I don't know what the Falcons were thinking, but they just didn't game plan for TJ Watt. They just let him do whatever he wanted.
Yeah.
The offsides call was so retarded, bro.
Yeah, like
Jumped that shit.
What are your predictions?
As much as I would love to pick the Falcons, I think the Eagles probably follow a similar arc as last year. I think they probably start hot and then, think someone throws a little wrench in their plans and they fall apart. So I'm gonna go with I think the Eagles win this one. I think they win by a lot, actually. I'm gonna go like 34 to 14. And everyone's gonna be like, "Oh my God, the Eagles are so good!" And
So
then
you're picking them
like
now, so that later in the year you can pick them to lose.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Eagles 30-17.
I'll go Eagles by a wide margin.
That's your score prediction?
Only Falcons prediction.
You want me to give a score? Is that what you just said?
Yes.
I mean, I
All right.
can write
We,
wide
we could
margin.
put a wide
Let's
margin on
put
the
wide
graphic.
margin. I think
Yeah,
it's
I can do that.
Wide margin.
Okay.
In other words, the Eagles are covering.
Well, it's 6.5, so the three of us have the Eagles covering.
Um,
And it went up from 4. So interesting. All right. Anything else we want to hit before hot takes? I'm gonna take that as a no. Okay.
Just put it out there. Steelers are first in the AFC North.
Yes, they
week
are.
one.
Mike Tomlin finds a way to win football games.
And in ways. That's all you got to do in the NFL.
All right, who wants to go first?
I'll go. I did a fantasy football hot take last week. Tess missed it. I said that Sleeper was by far the most superior app. This is another fantasy football take.
Oh, I hate Sleeper. I hate Sleeper.
That's not
wrong.
even this week's
But this
take.
is not the take.
I
This was my
hate
take.
You,
That was my take.
I was thinking about that the other day.
Sleeper is so good.
I opened that app and I immediately just like I'm
Why?
like, ew. It's
It
just
has
so
everything
not.
you could possibly
It's
need
so
for fantasy.
Tess. This is objectively wrong of you.
Yeah, like it's
I
it's
don't
not
like. I
even
just don't
so
like.
much
I think
better.
the ESPN one is much simpler and just like
ESPN is
straightforward.
the
Yeah,
worst.
it's simple for
I see
simple
the ESPN
minds like
fantasy
yours.
app. I'm like, this is
No,
fantasy
actually,
sports.
I think Sleeper is simpler. It's like a better it's a better like interface. It's so much cleaner. It looks nicer.
I don't know. I disagree. I don't like it.
The
I
projections
don't
are
have any
better.
reasoning. I
The
don't have any legit reasoning
Oh,
as
the
to why.
projections are so much better. So much better.
Maybe it's just because my sleeper team is god awful.
okay.
Anyway,
So
I
what is
continue. I'm
your
sorry to
take?
my hot
interrupt.
take was that 2 fantasy leagues is the perfect amount. And I made the mistake of joining 5 this year, and it is miserable. The experience on Sundays trying to figure out like if I have this guy on my team is so exhausting. It's miserable. So I'm just from now on Sundays, I'm only rooting for 2 teams to win, and it's my 2 sleeper leagues, my main leagues. Everything else I'll look at Monday. I don't care. 5 is so miserable. It's such a mistake. That was my hot take.
That's valid. I'm in 3. I think you're right. I think 2 is better.
Yeah,
But
I'm in 3.
2 is perfect. 1,
It's perfect.
if you suck, you're kind of screwed.
yeah.
You need some.
We're just popular guys, though.
Yeah, like I was just getting asked once
A lot
I
of
had
boys.
two from home, and then I got here. People are asking. I'm like I'm not gonna say no, but it's bad.
All right, I'll hit y'all with my take now. This might sound a little crazy. I just need you to bear with me for a second. All right. I think that Baker Mayfield is the best quarterback in the NFC. I think if you look at the top quarterbacks in the NFC, you got Jared Goff, you got Dak Prescott, you got Jordan Love, maybe, you got Matthew Stafford, maybe, and casuals would put Jalen Hurts in that conversation too. Jalen Hurts, we could throw out right now. Stafford, while I like Matt Stafford, I think his best days are behind him. I think Stafford's good. I don't know if I don't know. We're gonna throw Stafford out. Leaves you with Dak, Jordan Love, and Goff. Jordan Love hasn't shown me anything, so I'm throwing Jordan Love out. We got Dak, Goff, and Baker. Goff and Dak are playing with the Avengers here, and they're not even putting up the numbers that Baker is. Baker is, I feel like, doing more with less, and I watched his entire performance on Sunday, and while the Commanders' defense is miserable, he was unbelievable. The Commanders were getting pressure on like a semi-regular basis, like much better than last year. He didn't give a flying fuck. He moved around that pocket. He dealt it to his receivers. He looked unreal. I think he's the best quarterback in the NFC.
I like it. I don't know if I 100% agree, but I like
That's a really well thought take.
yeah, I like it. The Browns, I mean,
Okay, Goff.
Yeah, the Browns fumbled so hard.
I think
to be
people
fair,
forget he was a number 1 pick. Like he was a top prospect, all the talent in the world. Like, yeah.
But he did need the change of scenery. He was never going to succeed.
Yeah. Well, he did make the playoffs with the Browns. That is
that should have been enough for us to be like, okay, this guy might be good.
I feel I mean, I don't think at the time we realized how bad Deshaun Watson was going to be, and we were like, okay, like it's a no-brainer.
Well,
You
at the
take
time,
Deshaun
Deshaun
Watson.
Watson was like the next big thing.
Exactly. But like it kind of like made us overlook how good Baker Mayfield. Like I don't think he was ever that bad in
No.
Cleveland. He did his job. He
He's
brought them
bad
to
in
the playoffs.
Carolina.
For like the 5 minutes he was in Carolina, yeah, he
He
wasn't.
was bad there,
He
yeah.
was bad in Carolina, but then he went to the Rams, had that Thursday night football game.
Yeah. And he's been electric ever since.
He's just a gritty guy.
I'm
Like he
happy for
just
him too.
plays a
I
game.
think he deserves it. Like
Yeah, I
he's
love
gone
Baker.
through a lot. And he's a great guy.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I've been a fan since he shook his nuts at
I am a
Kansas
fan.
across the sideline. I think it was Kansas. Okay.
On the topic of 2018 quarterbacks, I'm going with Sam Darnold is going to be a top 10 quarterback in the NFL after this season.
Like top 10
Okay.
I also don't
wise, or
hate-
like we're gonna talk about him like he's a top 10 quarterback.
Both. I think I've been so high on Sam Darnold for the
Do you
longest
think he's
time.
going to take the
And
job
it's similar to
from
Baker
JJ?
Mayfield. It's really similar to Baker Mayfield. Like they both just I would say the Browns had a better situation than the Jets did back when they got drafted, but I think he's just like he never got the chance to blossom anywhere. And like all he needs to do is find a home. And the Vikings could be his home. Really. I think he has
Yeah.
like he has top arm talent. He can fit the ball into really tight spots on the field.
Yeah.
I've seen it before.
His
I have.
talent like was not a question yesterday.
And if he can stop throwing picks, really the biggest problem of his game is his turnovers. And if he can stop throwing picks,
Remember the first
I could see it being really good for him this year. And I hope so.
I don't think he could have landed in a better spot as a backup than the Niners.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then
And he's
think
lucky he
Sal
even got
asked
another
it,
shot.
but I don't think you heard him. Do you think he takes that job from JJ for the
Yeah.
But you think next year JJ's going
I
to
think they'll have to figure out what to do with JJ.
trade him to the Giants?
Can't sit him.
I mean, they could sit him. I think JJ is like 21.
Yeah, they definitely could sit him.
Yeah.
I said you can't sit Sam if he keeps playing.
Oh, yeah.
Like
I mean,
Sam's
if he
he's
plays
in his
like he
prime
did-
age.
If he plays like he did on Sunday, then
Like it really the Giants didn't play that bad on defense. He looked so good.
Yeah.
Like Baker, how old is Baker Mayfield? Baker is I'm looking
Yeah,
it up right now.
sometimes it does take people a while
Baker's
to get ready
29.
to be good.
Baker's 29. Sam's I think 27.
We
So
expect
he's in
these guys to
he's
come
in
out
the
of
prime of
college.
his playing career. Both of them
Yeah.
really.
People
I think his
expect
best
these
years
guys-
are ahead of him still. So I really hope to see him blossom in his spot this year. So that's my take.
All right, my take. The Boise State Broncos will win a game in the college football playoff this year.
Do you think they give me the 12s? Well, here's the
Yeah, would
thing.
they not have to play the 5 seed?
Here's the thing. I think they're the best group of 5 team. I don't think anyone probably would even try to argue with you with that right now. They have through 2 weeks the Heisman front runner.
45 touches,
They
10.6 yards a carry.
Yeah, he's unreal, and they look really good. The problem is, though, while it was to Oregon, and while they played them very close, they do have a loss, and there's probably going to be a group of 5 team that goes undefeated, and I'm scared that Boise State gets left out with that one loss, even though
The 5 team was undefeated and wins their conference.
I mean, if
I
they
mean, it
go,
happens every year. Liberty did
if
it
they go
last
11-1, they could be ranked higher. They could have a loss. But
Yeah.
higher
No,
than
the problem
undefeated.
is I'm scared that the undefeated team, even though Boise State would be getting punished for scheduling a good team, the group of 5 team, they might rank them higher just because they're undefeated. And like these group of 5 teams that are undefeated and haven't played anybody,
Don't
you
play
really have no idea how good they are.
Yeah.
So but I think if Boise State gets in, they can absolutely win a game. I mean, they proved they can win a game. They should have beat Oregon if we're being realistic.
First year of the new playoff and group of 5 team wipes out the number 5 seed.
I'm gonna look at Boise State's schedule now because I'm curious.
Yeah, let's see who they play.
Boise State Broncos. Yeah, they still got to play Washington State. That's an interesting game. And Oregon State. They play both Pac-12 teams this year.
Like if they build a resume playing good teams.
Yeah. I mean, the rest of them, they play their whole Mountain West schedule. and then they play the two Pac-12 teams. If they win out, I think they're the best group of five team. I don't know that the rankings will reflect that. I hope they do, but I think they're the best group of five team. And the people want to see Ashton Jeanty in the playoffs.
The people want to see it.
I like it. I think if they get in, they can win. Let's just hope they get in. All right. Anything else?
For the Balls,
It's a good pod.
It was a good pod.
good chats.
All right.
Good
Thank you
luck
all
this
for
week,
watching.
Greg.
What?
Good luck this week.
Thank you. You too.
Yeah.
It's a big week for my sports teams, actually. Cox got a big game. Commies got
I don't care about the Cox. I was just talking about the
No, I know what you were talking about, but my mind's on South Carolina football right now.
Why are you saying good luck, Frank?
because the Giants and commies play.
Oh, okay.
All right, viewers.
All right.
And we had enjoyed it. We'll see you guys again next week.